Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. About 8 topics for this video. I will show you some thieves, countries that are thieves, and that is Germany and the Czech Republic, unfortunately. I will show you Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who could join Donald Trump's campaign. I will show you the Americans, how they control the war in Ukraine, which is a controlled war, by supplying long-range missiles to Ukraine and forbidding the Brits to supply Storm Shadow missiles. Why? Because the Ukrainians don't need them. And that means possibly nuclear war, because the Russians warned them. If you guys are going to supply your F-16s with long-range missiles that could carry nuclear warheads, we're going to react. How do you think they will react? Well, we have a senator, an imbecile, a US senator, an imbecile, who wants to send US pilots, as I said many times before, to operate the F-16s in Ukraine. Why? Because I think the F-16s with the Ukrainian pilots will fall down, will be shot like flies too fast by the Russians. Let's see what else we got here. So we have basically, these are the topics. I know I said 8 topics and whatever, topics and subtopics. So let's start with the first article, which is right here, coming from Business Insider. US Senator calls on retired F-16 pilots to come fight for freedom in Ukraine after meeting with Zelensky. Okay. So Ukraine is finally operating F-16s, but President Zelensky said Kiev lacks trained pilots. Don't worry, you're not going to have time to train more because your F-16s will be taken out. With this in mind, the US lawmaker, remember, this imbecile makes laws, is urging retired F-16 pilots from the West to go to Ukraine. They will hire you here, Senator Lindsey Graham said during a visit to Ukraine this week. Well, do you know why the F-16 pilots retire? Usually there are 2 reasons. Why is the age, right? And the other one is illness. These are the reasons. Why age? You know, that's a lot of pressure on you with G-forces, with flying, with trepidations and all that shaking and so on. So your body is, doesn't resist that much. And with time, you get older, and with getting older, you lose certain functions. Pop-up, attention, coordination, and so on. So that means you are retired because you're not good anymore. Maybe some of them are good, but, they're not as they should be. It's like you have, for instance, milk, and it says expiration date. It doesn't mean that, let's say you drink it 3 days after the expiration date, it's not good, it's sour or something, it's not good. No. It's just that it's not guaranteed by the manufacturer that the milk will be good after the date on that. It doesn't mean it's done. The same with medication. That's how much they stand behind the medication. It doesn't mean, the next day, it's expired, it's not good, throw it in the garbage. No. In a case of medication, it just loses its potency. I know that for a fact. Why? Well, my mom was a pharmacist, and that's what she explained to me. It's not like they just lose with time, they lose potency. That's it. And by the way, alcohol increases the potency, so not too much, a little bit with certain antibiotics. So the same is with the guys, with the pilots. After a while, they expire. It doesn't mean they're bad, but they're not guaranteed they are going to function at the top level where they were supposed to and train. That's all. All right, next article. Let's go to the next article. And this comes from Newsweek. Retired US pilots could fly Ukraine's F-16s, Lindsey Graham said. This were garbage right here. Nevertheless, listen, I am for joining. If you want to join a war, you should be allowed to do that. The problem is here we have designated good people and designated evil people. So if you have the same job description, you're going to have a different term, a different title, job title. If you fight for Ukraine, you're going to be a freedom fighter. If you fight for the Russians with the same job description, you're going to be called a terrorist. You're going to be called a mercenary. With the same job description. That's the way it is. So nevertheless, pilots for F-16s. They will not have enough F-16s to fly. I guarantee you that. We'll see. Now, let's go to Robert F. Kennedy, Russia Today. And this is from the 20th of August, 2024. Robert F. Kennedy campaign considering joining forces with Trump. By remaining in the race, Kennedy is hurting the Republican nominee's chances of winning, his vice presidential candidate admitted. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is weighing whether to end his third-party presidential campaign and endorse Donald Trump. His running mate, Nicole Shanahan, said on Tuesday. I exposed who this Nicole Shanahan is. Go and check that video when he appointed her. I was, oy vey. With Kennedy struggling to get his name on the ballot in several key states. Why? Because our founding fathers took care of the elites very well, so the baboons cannot have their say. They go and vote, but if the elites want electoral college, bye-bye. And his campaign hemorrhaging money. Shanahan told the Impact Theory podcast on Tuesday that the former Democrat had come to a crossroads. And I'm quoting, there's two options that we're looking at, and one is staying in, forming that new party, but we run the risk of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz presidency because we draw votes from Trump, she said. Or we walk away right now and join forces with Donald Trump, and we explain to our base why we're making this decision. Well, I made a video, I think yesterday, regarding the same issue, when it was reported that Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s campaign contacted Kamala Harris' campaign, and they said, well, if you offer me a job in the government, if you win, then I'm going to endorse you. You're going to say, well, what a piece of... Well, could be or could be not. What I, being a nice guy and a good-natured individual, I don't assume these kind of things. I'm just thinking that he's a good person, Robert F. Kennedy, who is inclined to do good. But if he's going to stay as the third party, he's not going to get to the positions where he can do the most good that he could. Therefore, he's like, if you win, I'm with you. If you win, I'm with you. Let's see how the wind blows a little bit. And then when I get over there, I get a job where I can have an impact on the society, thinking that you're going to be allowed to have an impact on society instead of staying on the sidelines. Now, Robert F. Kennedy is what, 69 or something? So how much longer? Time is kind of late for him as well. So I'm a good natured. I'm looking at the bright side of things. I think that's the way he thinks. Well, I can have a bigger impact if I join these baboons and get in power, at least. And maybe doing good things, I will be able to worm myself into forming the third party, saying, see, that's my record. But hey, the other baboons are not baboons all the way. No? All right, let's move to the next article. Russia Today. Look at this. First, look at date. The date is too small. I will show you to it. It's 15th of August, 2024. Remember, 15th of August, so 5 days ago. Biden open to supplying Ukraine with long-range missiles. Politico. That's been already decided. They just let us know the mountain slope model I told you about. The Pentagon is reportedly already working through the details of a potential transfer of JASSM missiles. The White House is open to sending long-range cruise missiles to Ukraine, which could give previously transferred F-16 jets greater combatability, Politico reported on Thursday, citing officials of the Biden administration. All right, good. They can launch a 2,400-pound missile, which carries 1,000-pound warhead. Could be nuclear. Then the Russians will nuke you. I guarantee you that. They will threaten them, and that's the way it is. Next one. Business Insider, the same topic. Ukraine's F-16s may be getting long-range cruise missiles to hit targets hundreds of miles away. Report. This is 4 days ago. This is the 16th. So there's already may give. They open, now they may give, and guess what's going to happen next? And I picked this one for a picture here. You see the picture here? This is the title of this picture. The U.S. is in talks with Ukraine to send long-range cruise missiles for F-16s on Anadolu/Getty images, right? Now, Anadolu, these are not F-16s, baby doll. These are Sukhois, all right? If you don't believe me, first look at over there and on the wing, and then they have dual engines, and they have the air intakes, two of them. F-16 has one intake under the nose, big as shit. That's why they're afraid to do it in Ukraine, because they're gonna suck garbage, debris from the ugly Soviet, how do you call them, pista, how do you call it now, whatever. Where you take off, Jesus Christ, I don't know, you know what I mean. Jesus Christ, I missed the. So here it is, they are ready to do it. We have the next one, the Warzone. This is again from August 15th. JASS stealth cruise missiles down on the table for Ukraine. They are stealth cruise missiles. Remember, my fellow Americans, in 1999, the Americans used a stealth bomber, the newest bomber the American built. You know, we have invisible jets and stealth bombers and all that. And that stealth bomber, the newest, it was like 5 years old on the market, was shot down by a 1960s air defense with bullets, Yugoslavian air defense system, not with the missiles, bum, bim, 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 bim. I'm just exaggerating, but they shot it down, and then they made videos on that, and the next day the Chinese came and bought it, the fuselage, the wreckage. So when you hear these guys, we have the smart bombs, we have the stealth bombers, we have the invisible bombers and all that. So these JASSM stealth cruise missiles, they're stealth. You don't hear them, man. You don't see them. They're so quiet. Now these are gonna run they're gonna go up to 300 miles. That's how far these guys will gonna go, and they will supply them right here. They will supply them. And we have this one, University of Ukraine. US blocks Ukraine's use of British Storm Shadow missiles against Russia. So they stopped the Storm Shadow, and this is the reason. The United States is effectively blocking Ukraine's use of British Storm Shadow missiles for striking against Russian territory due to President Joe Biden's concerns about escalation. The Times reported on August 16th. So he says you can't use it, but on the 15th or in the 16th, we are going to do it. And in the 15 right here, as I said, open to supply. So who's in charge? So he tells the Brits, no, you're not going to do it. We're going to do it. Why? The answer is very easy, simple. Not simplistic, simple. The American military-industrial complex is bigger than the US, the British, German, French. Rheinmetall is allowed to send when the Americans tell them. So right now, Storm Shadow and Scalp, which is the same, but it's the French variant, because they build it together, sit down, it's our guys to make profits now, because these are at the foundation of this war, including the banks who fund all this garbage. Do you think Americans have money? No, they print money. I'm talking about the bitch government, prints money and gets loans from international banking systems. All right, that's how they have the money. But hey, we tell them stand down and the Brits stay. Why? Because the Americans are in charge. US says this is 1 day ago from the 19th. US, Ukraine does not need Storm Shadow missiles. But they need ours. They need our JA Baby Boo Boo long range missiles right there. They need our stealth cruise missiles. It's like a joke. It's like a joke, my friends. And they tell us why they don't need it, right? Ukraine does not need to use British Storm Shadow missiles inside Russian territory because homemade drones can do more damage to Russian forces, the US has claimed. But what about this one, baby doll? Jesus Christ, man. These guys think that we're baboons, man. All right, so let's jump to the thieves now. To the thieves. And this is one of the thieves. Why? Look, that's the 17th of August, right? Ukrainska Pravda. Germany will not allocate additional funds to help Ukraine, media said. And I was like, oh my God, the economic system is collapsing. These guys are deep doo-doo. What's going to happen? Well, they gave me the answer in 3 days. They're going to take it from the Russians. That's thievery. Now, if you think that's right, just put yourself in the Russians' shoes. Oh, you're not bad as the Russians? Well, make an effort, make an intellectual effort, right, and try, right, to put yourself and see if you don't consider that a thievery. But if you say, no, it's not, because we initiated, like in this case, you initiated unprovoked war, well, then allow your neighbors that want to destroy you to put their weapons all around your property. And if you say that's okay, I'm okay with that, then you're a baboon. You should not be around. Anyway, move on. I mean, what am I supposed to say? So here, the German federal government current budget planning does not provide for the allocation of new funds to support Ukraine. And the opposition is talking about freezing financial and consequently military support for Kiev. Oh my God. And we got this article from New Voice of Ukraine. Germany halts new military aid request for Ukraine under Scholz directive, because Scholz cares for the Germans. He's a thief. Germany's updated 2025 budget draft does not include increased military aid for Ukraine, according to Frankfurter Allgemeine Sonntagszeitung on August 17th. So right there. And then they come with a solution. This is one day ago, on the 19th. Germany hopes interest from Russian assets will ease the strain of financing aid to Ukraine. And these are the thieves, right there, some of them. The defense minister is missing from here, but nevertheless. So here you have the German government hopes a $50 billion international loan package funded by interest on profits from frozen Russian assets will ease some of the strain of financing military support to Kiev starting next year. You got that? Because they froze about $300 billion. $300 billion. And we have these guys. They joined the fray. The checks and balances will buy ammunition for Ukraine with income from frozen Russian assets. Now, why the Czech Republic? I tell you why the Czech Republic. The Czech Republic have Mr. Peter Pavel. He's the president. He's a general. And he was a chief of NATO at one point, very high up. So nowadays we have either FBI former agents, or current, or CIA, or we have military. These are the guys that are in charge. Remember, von der Leyen was the defense minister of Germany, all right? And not only. We have militaries in charge. So here you have Czech Republic with a guy over there. Nothing wrong with that, but he is on US's payroll 100%. Here, so there you have them. Prague, the Czech Republic, will use some of interest earned on Russian assets in the European Union to buy more large caliber ammunition for Ukraine. Western countries blocked about 300 billion worth of sovereign, no more, Russian assets after Russia launched its full-scale, unprovoked, horrible invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. You know, that's the way the story goes. And we go to the last article from Ukrinform related to the same topic. Czechia to buy several 100,000 rounds of ammunition for Ukraine using frozen Russian assets. Thieves or no thieves? Well, my friends, that's the way it goes. What do you think the Russians will do? If this would be the case, let's say a bank, you have an argument with a neighbor, and the bank or other neighbors that you have dealings with, they don't give you the money back, they use your interest and give it to your enemy, what will you do? Wouldn't you fuck them up? Maybe not. Maybe you're just gonna lay down and cry like a bitch. Well, that's why these people will be always mastered by stronger and smarter and sometimes evil individuals. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.